Movie definitely commits a crime by starting with 1 minute and 18 seconds of logos. Also, Comcast. The cab driver adjusts his rearview mirror to try to get a good down blouse peek. And I'm not even sure why this is important. This guy is a total sin in and of himself. But man, this woman has some incredible radar when detecting unconventional perv methods.
Apologies, miss. I didn't know how else to wake you.
Other than trying to see down your shirt from my rearview mirror, but I got a weird feeling you didn't like that. Also, really? Trying to talk to her in the car didn't seem like a valid option.
Is anyone up there? Hi.
Even though the driver just said,
The Hillshires had to step out for a moment. They beg your pardon, miss, and they ask that you wait in the parlor.
let's walk up the stairs and look around. Great way to make a first impression with your new employers. Who knows what evil lurks in the heart of this house? The doorknob knows. I see this family hired that painter that makes everyone look dead inside. That artist is shockingly popular, but I hear his rates are reasonable.
Hi there.
Sorry.
Believe it or not, I was actually trying not to scare you.
I don't believe Malcolm, nor do I believe that the taxi driver couldn't figure out a better way to wake Greta up. Less than 10 minutes in, and we've already had 2 people approach our main character oddly and scare the shit out of them because they have horror movie instincts for no goddamn reason cliches. Not a good start, the boy. Not a good start.
I'm the grocery boy. Grocery man, you know. I am the shop, actually.
Movie flirting.
Yeah, I'm gonna read your gum.
This works better with a pair of your panties, though. Just kidding. That'd be weird.
And the son? Brahms?
Naming your son Brahms.
I was sure I left my shoes right here.
It's Brahms, he can be playful.
So not one male character in this movie so far doesn't have a fetish. We got the downblouser, the gum reader, and the shoe stealer. Also, of course, we find out later the very human Brahms living in the walls is the responsible party for the shoes missing. But why the shoes and not the bag? Or why not just let Greta know immediately he exists? I guess Brahms plays the rule of ghost movies where one has to invoke some mundane f***ery before elevating to the scarier.
Let's hurry up. We've kept them waiting long enough.
I feel like this might be a line for the audience because it's been less than 10 minutes and I'm already bored.
And this is our son, Brahms.
Look, I'm sure the Heelshires think this is normal and but to somehow not prepare your nanny for the kid's doll features and then act like the nanny is the asshole is downright absurd. Meanwhile, dude who likes touching hot women's gum could have told her about this instead of whatever that was he did in the kitchen, but the power of boners prevented it. Also, there have got to be better ways to experience the UK than taking a job caring for Chucky during the mid-transition of his real boy operation.
We'll wake him at 7 o'clock each morning and you will dress him. You'll find his clean clothes behind you.
Why does she have to change his clothes? The other rules make sense, in that the real Brahms has to be able to hear the music, get to the food later, etc. But what the does he care what a doll is or isn't wearing? You might say it's not important, and maybe it isn't, but I want to know, and I'm a dick who sins movies, so...
Any of these books will do, but you must read in a loud, clear voice.
I don't care how serious the Heelshires are, I would still think this is a big, elaborate practical joke. If it's not a practical joke, then your life is definitely in danger.
And the food goes in here.
Welcome to one of the weirder logical issues of this movie. The food that the real Brahms, who is currently living in the walls, has to eat in secret. When Greta realizes doll Brahms is just a doll, does she decide not to put food in here, even though the very real Brahms needs it? And if so, how is he getting his food? Does Greta put food in here and not ask questions when it's gone? If she doesn't put food in here, then something has to be missing from the house that would cause her to say, well, someone is eating the food here, right? And yes, later we see he has his own fridge behind the walls, but one way or another, the food issue should tip off Greta that something is up, right? Man, good thing there was an actual rat in there so they can pull off this rats in the wall charade for a little while longer.
Our son is here. He's very much with us. Do you understand, Miss Evans?
Yes.
The only correct answer is no. I'm sorry. Who takes a job like this and doesn't demand answers? How desperate is she for this job?
Could you give us a moment alone to speak to Brahms privately?
Oh, sure.
And I will then walk toward you instead of away from you because I clearly don't understand what giving people privacy means.
He wants you, Miss Evans. He's chosen you, if you'll have him.
If they just had a conversation with the real Brahms, then how did Greta not hear 3 voices? She was standing right outside the door.
Greta, you know you needed to get away. The situation is perfect for you.
I hate to harp on this so much. Actually, check that. I love harping on this so much. There have got to be hundreds of thousands of places she could have gone to get away, and it wouldn't have involved something this fucking creepy and wrong.
What'd you tell him?
Nothing. And I'm not going to tell him anything. Guess he doesn't care about the restraining order.
The Cole storyline adds nothing to the movie and just makes it a little more predictable when he eventually shows up. Couldn't she just be taking a really good job opportunity because she's desperate for money? Does this movie that already has a creepy killer in the walls really need a abusive ex-boyfriend thrown in?
You've done this. Mummy has to go now.
What exactly is Greta's thought process right now? Does she just assume Mrs. Heelshire created this mess and is pretending the doll did it? It's kind of hard to feel for Greta when the movie presents her as someone who is either insanely dumb or is willing to take advantage of what she thinks might be a mentally unstable elderly couple. Why the hell would it take an hour to wake and dress Brahms?
No offense, Brahms, but you kind of creep me out.
It's perfectly reasonable that Greta would take this route once the Heelshires leave, but I do wonder why this doesn't make Brahms present himself earlier. Jiff. Oh, I'm sorry. I think it's pronounced GIF. I don't want to upset you peanut butter grammarians out there. Movie discovers its inner brown bunny by showing Greta getting peanut butter and jelly out of her luggage, walking to the kitchen and making the sandwich in what seems like real time. Drinking wine with PB&J. Doll tossing. Also, holy I just realized this doll looks like Jared Kushner. Sure, sleep with an estimated 6,000 candles burning all around you in a country home that looks like you could set it on fire just by saying the word. I would like to see one horror movie character die in one of these movies in a fire started by all the needless candles they left lit while sleeping. Oh, so I guess she was dreaming all those candles lit up in her bedroom. And that's definitely the most important thing you should take out of that dream sequence. Also, character dreams in a horror movie so there can be a cheap scare before the real starts going down cliché. We're about to find a small leak in the ceiling is causing this effect, but what are the chances Greta would hear crying on the day it's raining and approach the doll at the exact moment a drop had already fallen to create the tear effect? What are even the chances the water would be hitting the doll in that exact area of the face? I'm guessing a percentage that is a little bit less than go f yourself. You know, it's weird that the attic door won't open, but who looks at an attic door and says, I need to go explore that?
Need a lift?
I got a whole pack of chewing gum and a full tank of gas.
You gotta warn me, you know.
She's great at CinemaSins.
Ruin the surprise.
He's great at being an asshole.
It was a fire. Brahms didn't make it out.
It was all the candles, wasn't it?
On his 8th birthday.
It was all the birthday candles, wasn't it? Also, Brahms' position.
He's seeing as we're employed by the same people. You know, it's a duty, is what it is. I will take no pleasure in it whatsoever.
Man, Rupert Evans and Lauren Cohen have genuine chemistry, which is probably another reason this movie works better than it should. But it's too bad it's wasted in a silly horror movie. For the record, I think it's stupid that Greta brings her dress into the bathroom with her for basically no reason. That can get wet, and then you'll ruin your best dating dress. But we all know that she does this so that the movie can make it look like Brahms is stealing while she's not looking. This contemplative PG-13 movie shower will pretend it's giving you all your Mr. Skin needs by showing you someone who might not be Lauren Cohen cleaning her thighs at least 3 different times. Greta can't seriously be contemplating going up into this attic after someone clearly went into the bathroom while she was taking a shower and took her clothes. Okay, I guess she's probably stuck here, but she doesn't even try to open the attic door once it closes. Even if pushing down on it could make you fall through the opening, wouldn't you at least try to do something? Malcolm doesn't wait very long. He knocks on the door a couple times, then looks around for a few seconds before rolling. It's a big house. She could be getting ready or just didn't hear the knock at the door. How could Brahms open the attic door since Greta took the tool up with her on the previous night? And if he had another way of doing it, what took him so long?
There was someone in here. I know it. My clothes.
You know, I used to sleepwalk when I was a boy.
Sleepwalk? Sleepwalk? She was up in the attic all night. Is Malcolm's theory that she sleepwalked down the stairs, threw her clothes all over the room, and then sleepwalked back to the attic?
You watch. You'll wake up in the middle of the night and he'll be standing over you in your coral dress with lipstick smeared all over his face.
Sandy might be wrong about Malcolm, but she does bring up the coral dress again, which is gone, along with a necklace she had on the sink, and her room was ransacked. Those things happen. There's no reasonable explanation why they happen, and now Greta's snuggled up in a bed with a magazine without a care in the world.
Please tell me Morgan didn't give him the address.
He didn't know how else to get rid of him. He's 10 years old.
Tell me, movie, why does 10-year-old Morgan have access to Greta's current address? Why would that be a thing you would either A, make a 10-year-old memorize, or B, have hanging around somewhere for a kid to find? Do you plan on writing her a bunch of letters? How would she see a shadow walking right past an open doorway behind her, but not see the person causing the shadow? Also, it's time for a horror movie producer intervention. Can we be done with the passing by in the background trope? Is this something the market research says is what audiences need in their horror movies? Okay, movie, now you're just a no-good cheating piece of shit. We're halfway through, and this is the second jump scare dream. Seriously, movie music, quit telling me when I should be scared. And if you're going to do it, pick something better than a doll sitting on a bed. This woman was trapped in a goddamn attic by someone and is still chilling in the house like nothing happened. If she's not scared, why the should I be? So how does this work exactly? Did Brahms cut the phone line just a few seconds ago when she was trying to use it, but then reattached it to make this scary phone call? And does this mean he has his own phone line? Why the would he have his own phone line? And where is it? Is it in the walls? It's in the walls, isn't it? Someone needs to send Greta the book so that doll you've been neglecting is real. It helped me through some tough times when I used to babysit Justin Bieber. He too lived in the walls while I took care of his YouTube channel.
I promise I'll be good.
Since Brahms is actually 33, why does he sound like he's 8? And what if she was right by the door and decided to just open it right then? The game would be up. Does real Brahms have a plan for that scenario, or will he just hope she chooses to run to the attic after seeing him? And since he's not there when she opens the door, how does he get away without Greta hearing footsteps?
When I first got here, Mrs. Hilscher said that Brahms took my shoes and that he was playful. And I thought she was joking.
But clearly never once again thought about where the shoes went after she found out Brahms was a doll, like a rational person would. Jeez, Greta just jumped right into this with Brahms, didn't she? She went from these people and their doll are crazy to he's totally real and I should follow all the rules overnight. You too can have the undevoted affection and care from someone by simply making a PB&J.
This is something. It's something.
The summary of the majority of the reviews of this film somehow made it into this movie.
My clothes kept disappearing.
They kept disappearing? They kept? Like, this has happened more than once?
It's bloody incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like someone else is in the house. Maybe they should look into that before just assuming dolls are magical.
Is it a ghost, some sort of trapped spirit, or...
A boy. Brahms is a boy.
Yeah, he is.
Wow, it took Malcolm one trick, and he's already gotten to the acceptance phase of Brahms' existence.
There's a guy back home that I was involved with. Cole. Not a good guy.
Man, you were just starting to get interesting, and then it's back to Cole. No one gives a about Cole. Nothing like bringing up mom during sexy talk time. Look, I'm not judging, but this relationship went from maybe to let's in the time it took for Malcolm to accept Brahms as a real boy. I don't think they've even been on a date yet. She's just getting out of an abusive relationship that she moved to goddamn England over, just lost a child, and her ex even knows where she lives, and there's a creepy doll next door. I can't imagine the psychological logistics it took to get her into doomy mode. Brahms starts playing music real loud and stops the sex dead in its tracks. Cock-blocking Brahms is what they used to call him before he died in a fire. Oh, sorry. I must have blacked out during that love scene. Did Greta and Malcolm already have a kid? Man, this relationship is going faster than the one in Mother. I guess it's possible that the real Brahms came out at night to turn doll Brahms on his side, but I don't know why. Not even sure why it bugs me, but it does. And I'm me, so sin away I shall.
But I should have told you this before. I didn't want to scare you off.
Brahms maybe killed a little girl on his birthday, but I wanted to bang you so badly that I withheld that information. Terrifying transitions!
Who's Malcolm?
Movie suddenly turns into Sleeping with the Enemy. Also, Cole's presence in this movie is even more irritating because it gives the film an easier choice of who to kill later. It's a horror movie, so there has to be at least one victim. And prior to his entrance, it would have to be Malcolm or Greta. And there's no way the movie is killing either of them. I'm going to add 25 sins for the very concept of Cole.
I understand why you left. I do.
Great! Skippity skip skip! And then after that, let's skip, and then maybe keep on skipping. This movie up to now seems to be set up to give Cole his comeuppance, and I'm totally down with that. I really am. It just feels manufactured to an unbelievable degree. We haven't even gotten to the bottom of what Brahms is yet, whether he's a psychotic killer or he's like Dexter or some. But given the clues, this movie's about to make me root for a psychotic killer, and I'm not okay with that.
You're not leaving me, Greta. And I'm not letting you go. No matter where you run off to.
He's fun. This seems like way too serious of subject matter to have thrown in the last 15 minutes of a silly ghost doll / killer kid / mystery / thriller / horror film. My slash allowance is f***ing used up, Cole. I got no room for you.
Don't worry, Brahms, I'm not gonna leave you. But I need your help.
Did she just ask Brahms to kill her ex-boyfriend? Also, since she has to keep her voice down so Cole can't hear her, how could real Brahms hear her? Since it's pretty clear you have to be loud and pronounced.
Was this you?
How the did Brahms reach this? Did this motherfucker find a ladder, climb it, draw get out in rat's blood, and then dispose of the ladder without Cole hearing him? Also, I understand why Cole doesn't believe Brahms did this. I'm watching this movie, and even I can't believe it. But how does he think the sweet Greta would slice open rats and draw this in blood? Wouldn't you blame Malcolm or a psychotic doll before you ever thought she could do this? Is Brahms also somehow superhuman? Because Cole is at least twice the size of him. Cole Trickle. If Brahms was a real boy running around in the walls of this house the whole time, I don't understand why he chose to reveal himself to attack Cole, only to continue being a psychotic dickhead once the job was done. Also, this means the real Brahms risked giving away his surprise several times, but just knew Greta wouldn't look in his direction or simply open a door. This also means some ridiculous logical leaps when Brahms the doll moved by himself and real Brahms managed to hide before Greta discovered him. While there are a series of passages in this house, there aren't secret doors to access them in every room. Seriously, how strong is this guy? The doll being alive was more believable.
He's been living in here, hasn't he?
How is she just now getting this?
It's me.
Yep, Brahms has definitely been that fake Greta. I think he calls her persona non grata.
He's been living in the walls the whole time watching me. They knew that he would do this.
The question for me is, when was Brahms going to reveal himself if Cole never showed up? There would never have been a reason for him to do it.
Brahms! It's time for bed now.
Movie steals the ending of Friday the 13th Part 2. Also, this works.
Put that down now, Brahms.
Okay, I'll stop being a murderer now, Mom. This movie is so bad that now I'm going to have to resort to a Brahms really got screwed there joke. And the sin is for the movie making me think that, and then forcing me to tell you fine people. Malcolm is still alive. End of sin. No one will be seated during the Greta still has to open the gate so that she can get the car off the property scene. Sure, it's the end of the movie, and they wouldn't seat you now anyway, but it's also important and exciting as f***. In addition to being an abomination, Brahms is excellent at piecing a porcelain doll that was dust back together. He must have gotten some tips from that Toy Story 2 guy. Last shot of a horror movie is really stupid cliche.
Told you to talk to her. We didn't want you to send her to the glue factory.
I didn't kill her, Zach.
I'm the grocery boy.
You're an errand boy sent by grocery clerks.
Interesting teeth marks.
If the teeth marks in this gum match exactly with your teeth marks, would you concede that the average person would believe that it was you that chewed the gum?
It means we are in constant battle with the outside elements. Weather, plants, vermin, especially vermin.
Especially stink beetles.
The food goes in here.
It sure does.
He's chosen you, if you'll have him.
I promise, I will never die.
You're gonna be okay.
Now say it! You're gonna be okay!
No offense, Brahms, but you kind of creep me out. You're a really creepy dude.